Hello Kitty Island Adventure is coming to Steam and the Nintendo Switch. An idle, cute life sim that lives on the bottom of your screen is releasing soon. Magic Inn's release date has been delayed and more. Keep watching for more latest farming and life sim news. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is a cozy open-world adventure where you join Hello Kitty and her friends on a magical island. You can explore, craft, decorate, and even make friends with all the Sanrio characters you know and love. This game is just bursting with cuteness, and a lot of people are comparing it to Animal Crossing, but this game has more exploration, and it even has some simple puzzles. Previously, this game was only available in Apple Arcade, but now it is coming to Steam and the Nintendo Switch on January 30. The price for the Nintendo Switch is $39.99 and $59.99 for the deluxe edition. The deluxe version will include unique items and 1 year of clothing, furniture, and other cosmetics from 2023 and 2024 events on the Apple version. The game also supports 2-player multiplayer, but sadly there is no crossplay version. You can only play with friends on the same platform, and you would need the Nintendo Switch Online for multiplayer if you are getting this for the Switch. Let me know if you plan to get this game, and keep an eye out on this channel for more information and news about it. My Little Life is releasing on January 31st. It is a cute life sim that lives on the bottom of your screen to keep you company while you do other things. Watch your little person go from unemployed and living in a messy home to living their best life in their full customized dream home. As you fulfill each little person's hopes and dreams, you will earn fulfillment points. Spend fulfillment points to unlock increasingly varied and expensive items to upgrade their lifestyle. This is similar to Rusty's Retirement if you know that game, and I think it's nice to have all these games that keep you company while you do other things. The release date of Magic Inn has been postponed from January to April 2025. The developers is a small team of just 4 people with only 1 programmer, and they said they need more time to complete one final feature and dedicate a significant amount of time to play testing. Magic Inn is a charming tavern life simulator where you take on the role of an exiled wizard turned innkeeper. You will be overseeing everything from menus, rooms, guests, and staff in a fully magical, customizable inn. Learn and harness magic spells in order to help with the inn management. You can also engage in card battles to spark conversations and foster relationships with guests. Last year, a lot of games released, whether full game or early access, that had a lot of bugs and issues that made the game unenjoyable. I am personally okay with release delays like this to avoid such instances, but what do you think about game delays like this? In Little Rocket Love, you play as Morgan, an aspiring engineer returning to her hometown to fulfill her family's dream of building a rocket ship. You will need to research and build clever contraptions and sprawling factories to help the locals. From simple drills and furnaces to complex assemblers, cranes, and miles of conveyor belts, you will convert local resources into useful materials and bring industry back to this town. Outside of building contraptions, you'll need to mine out resources, explore the map, and make lifelong friendships with the locals. If this game sounds interesting to you, their team is going to run playtests soon, and everyone who signs up is guaranteed a key. I will put a link on the description for this announcement if you want to check it out and join the playtest. Echoes of the Plumgrove released a new update with a very exciting impact when it comes to decorating your farm and home. This update includes a rug layer. Furniture can now be placed on top of rugs and paths. Flexible item placement. Many items can now be placed both indoors and outdoors. Farm helpers refilling. Farm helpers can refill water at a well or the pond. And new Halloween outfits, mushroom and snowman. While this is just a small update, the game will have big news on January 23rd, so stay tuned for that. Collector's Cove is now holding their first closed playtest. In Collector's Cove, you will set sail on a cozy farming adventure aboard your boat. Cultivate rare crops, reel in elusive fish, and nurture your maritime sanctuary as you explore diverse islands and uncover their secrets. Enjoy cozy solitude while completing your collector's compendium and rise to the rank of a named collector. Registration is now open for an exclusive test set to take place this January. If you are interested and think you'll be able to participate and provide feedback, check out the registration details in the link below. As the game is still deep in development, access will be limited to a small number of players for this initial test. Roots of Pacha shared another sneak peek into their 1.3 update, and this time we get to know more about the 2 new regions coming soon. In the 1.3 update, we will be able to access the Tundra region and Turtle Islands where the Morgrani and Yakuans live. After completing the forest caves, Inza and Zeda will invite you to their camps, each asking for a small favor. So, just like other updates in the past, no new saves will need to be created to enjoy this content. Explore the lands of the Morgrani and Yakuans by traveling to their camps and visiting their sub-regions. You'll discover new seeds, animals, their culture, and if you wish, play minigames such as dice in the tundra or perform a song in the Turtle Islands. The Morgrani and Yakuans have heard about what your clan has accomplished, and each has a new idea they would like your help with. Then, as you complete more of the main story, an additional idea will arise in each area. When designing these regions, the developers wanted it to reflect the clan's more spread-out nature and how that contrasts with the life the Pachans live. For example, the Morgrani follow power, so their leader, Zeda, and the clan's spiritual advisor, Anda, sleep alone in a cave on a hill, while most of the Morgrani prefer to sleep independently in tents. As for the Yakuans, they follow tradition, but are slightly more community-driven. They have something a little similar to the Pacha Hearth, where people gather. However, unlike the Pachans, they live spread out and rarely interact with one another. It is always interesting to explore new regions in the game, and I can't wait for more information about the 1.3 update. Next is Cattle Country, a cozy cowboy adventure life sim where you play as a determined pioneer traveling west to start a new life. In this game, you can expect hours of the slice of life you'd expect on the frontier, including mining, fishing, crafting, and farming, along with deep-rooted Wild West quests delivering stories of romance, cattle drives, bandits, and robberies. The game's demo is going to leave Steam soon, so make sure to try it out if you still can. For the game's latest news, we have a sneak peek into the characters we will meet inside the game. John, the blacksmith, is one of the hardest workers in Cattle Country. You'll find him in his forge, hammering away at horseshoes, tools, and anything else the town needs. But look a little closer and you will see he's carrying a weight. Will you dig a little deeper and hear his story? Sassy is a true survivalist, living off the land and keeping away from the chaos of town. She's not the easiest person to approach, especially if you're a stranger. But once you earn her trust, you'll find a heart of gold under that tough-as-nails exterior. Sassy has a keen survival instinct and knows a thing or two about foraging, so keep as much room as possible in your day to spend time with this free spirit. There's a rumor floating around Cattle Country that Carrie Saloon isn't just home to Sarsaparilla and supper. It might also be haunted. Some say they've heard strange noises late at night. Is it the wind? Or is something else lurking in the shadows? Carrie, the saloon owner, isn't fazed by the whispers, but this could be a dead end for business. Carl, the town banker, may be sharp with his books, but he's certainly acting a bit strange. Makes you wonder, is he hiding something? Or is it just the stress of counting so many dollars? Could Carl's nerves be a sign of something bigger? There seems to be a lot of interesting characters in the game so far, and I hope the dialogues in the game will be as good as these introductions. Crater Cove got a big patch that focuses on movement, performance, and more game polish. This is a deep open-world life sim and town-building game set in a cozy post-apocalyptic paradise. The game had a huge redesign of the character controller for jumping and movement to fix the janky issues that were reported. Furthermore, there should be big improvements in performance, especially lag spikes, especially later in the game when you have lots of characters and tourists running around doing stuff. While the pathing is still a work in progress, there should now be less teleporting, walking through walls, and tourists going inside fish tanks. There's also some animation improvements while swimming and a lot of other bug fixes. I had a blast playing Critter Cove, and it's nice to see that the developers are continuously addressing the bugs, and the game is now on overwhelmingly positive review on Steam. Chef RPG shared a lot of exciting updates planned for 2025. The first patch of the year adds a few improvements which, among many others, include greatly reduced game startup time. On Steam Deck, startup time reduced from 25 seconds to 5 seconds. Game file size slightly smaller. New recipe unlock animation. Better gamepad controls. Grape pie, a research recipe, is now an epic recipe with lemon as a fourth ingredient. It was previously incorrectly set as a common recipe. And lastly, they improved the blender minigame. There are also some bug fixes for this update. Then here is a sneak peek for more upcoming updates. The first update will arrive sometime around the end of February and will focus on adding side quests as well as improving the overall gameplay loop and adding new progression systems. The festivals and relationships major update will come sometime after that. Here are some of the new additions to expect for the first update. New side quests and rewards, new items and furniture, random events in the game world, first stage of a progression system for White Ash Harbor, overhauling certain minigames, balancing the economy and add more features related to power cells, changing certain skills in the skill tree, and new sound effects. That's all for now. Stay cozy and keep gaming.